So I have one more thing to show you in Replit, and I'm going to show you how to access the shell. So I'm going to scroll all the way to the right as far as I can. And at the bottom it should say New Tab, and there's a whole bunch of new tabs that we can have. There's AI over there. There's, oops, let me close that. Okay, so there's AI, there's deployments, doc, git, multiplayer, packages, shell, and so forth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up shell. So here's a few things that we can do in shell. This is actually just a shell, like you have a git bash. You might have git bash installed on your Windows machine if you've installed Git or GitHub Desktop. This would be like the terminal in Mac or the terminal on a in a Chromebook. But let me just show you a couple of things that you can do. One is type ls. ls stands for list out the files and directories in a directory. And we can see a index.html, replit nix, script.js, and style.css. This should look familiar to you. Let me scroll all the way back. Oh, I don't have to scroll all the way back. Let me show you, clicking down at the bottom, you can see we have those files. There's a hidden file, show hidden files. There's a hidden file, replit.nx. So those are config files. We don't need to worry about those. So I'm going to hide the hidden files. So the ones we need to worry about are index, script, and style up here. Those are the ones that we were we edited before. And just to remind you, here was index.html. Put another exclamation point on that. Oops. There we go. Run that. Okay, then there was the script, which is empty, and there is style.css, which we put the background on. So those are just files. Those are just files sitting in our folder here, or our directory, kind of our root directory of our project. Let me go back to the shell. So I can do a few things. I can make a new directory. mkdir is make directory. And I'm going to make a directory called cats. Type ls again, and you can see cats is in there. Let me swipe up, let me just hit that, and you can see cats is a directory, and you see nothing is in cats. I can add a file from right in here. So I can add a file called Fluffy, for Fluffy the cat, and I want it to be an HTML file. So I'm going to have the extension, the file extension will be HTML. And that's how we'll know that that's an HTML file that we're going to put in there. Okay, add. All right, so now there's one in there. I can add a few more just by add file, and maybe it could be Frisky the cat, and another HTML file, .html. And that .html, don't worry about that. Well, the .html just is called the file extension, and that just indicates what the type of the file, just by the file name. So over here we have the .js file. Over here we have the .css file. Some other file types you might be familiar with are .jpeg, .gif, GIF, .doc, or .docx. So those are different files that you could create. Okay, so let me go back to the shell, and now I'm going to type ls again. And remember, I had a new directory, and the new directory is called cats. It's a new folder. So I'm going to type cd. cd stands for change directory. So let me go into the cats directory, and then, so now you can see I'm in demo/cats. It helpfully tells me where I am. And I'm going to type ls, and you see I have those two files that I just created, Fluffy and Frisky. Again, you can see them here, and they're empty because there's nothing in them. Say I love, which one was this? Was this Fluffy or Frisky? This one is Fluffy. I love Fluffy. Fluffy. All right, so I'll just put that in there. And when I hit run, I'm going to be able to find that in cats /Fluffy, just to show you that this is working. Fluffy.html. Yeah, and it says I love Fluffy. I can add an exclamation point to it. So where'd Fluffy go? Where'd Fluffy? Here it is. So I'll add an exclamation point to Fluffy. One is enough. And then I'm going to hit run. And yeah, I love Fluffy. You can go back to the base. And this should have said there, hello Mars. Oh, come on. There's hello Mars. Okay. So, so I'm in cats. Let's say I want to go, well, let's say I want to make another directory. So I could do mkdir and let's say kittens. And where is that directory? Where will that directory be created? Because you have to pay attention to where you are. It's kind of like being in a folder. It's kind of like opening a folder on your desktop. So let's see. Let's go back over here and we'll see where we are. So we have cats. Inside cats, I'm going to open up. We have kittens, and of course there's nothing inside. But let me call him maybe Furry. Okay. So here's Furry inside there. So we can have a whole bunch of directories going down. These are called nested directories. It's kind of like a hierarchy of directories. But what if we want to put a directory up top next to cats? So what I'm going to do, so what I'm going to do is I need to come out of this directory cats. If that makes sense to you. I mean, I got to go, I'll show you what I want to do. I want to do this. I'll do it from over here first. What I want to do is I want to make a new directory called, a new folder called dogs up at the top here, right? So dogs is going to be up here. And then I'm going to make some new files like rover inside here. All right. So that's what I want to do. So I'm going to delete this because, whoops, that was download. I wanted to, no. Let me do that again. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that one. And I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to do it all over again. But I'm going to do it from the shell, or the terminal, whatever you want to call it. Where's my shell? Here it is. Okay, so I'm in cats. I'm going to cd, and I'm going to hit cd ... So cd ... takes me out of this directory. When I type ls, I'm up here. You can see my cats, my index, script, style. Again, if I do cd cats, I go into the cats directory, type ls. Here are my cats in there. You can type cd kittens, and please follow along. Oops, kittens. Kittens, like that. And here we are, and you have my fluffy kitten up here. So I can type cd dot dot to get back up, and cd dot 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 to get back up or out of the directory. I'll just show you one more time what that looks like here. It's kind of like opening up cats, then opening up kittens, right? And then closing kittens and going back up to cats, and then closing cats and going back to the main kind of project directory. Okay, so that would be cd cats, cd kittens. I can type ls. Now I'm down here. Cd dot dot back out. You can see I have my cats here. Cd dot dot back out one more time. And here you can see that's where I have it's the base of the files. It's the kind of the base of the project directory. Okay, so like I said, I wanted to make dogs. So let me do this one more time. Go through the whole process. mkdir make directory dogs. I'm going to type ls. I can see now I have cats and I have dogs. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look here. And you can see my dogs, they're empty there. I'll make a file. I'm going to call it rover. And it's an HTML file, so I'll use the file extension .html. Okay. And let's take a look. Whoops, my shell. Where is my shell? This is supposed to be my shell. Okay, my shell has disappeared. Oh, here it is. All right, I got a lot of tabs open here. So I'm going to type ls. I'm still here. So how do I go into dogs? Change directory, cd into dogs. ls. You have my rover in there. I'm going to just show you one more way of making a file. There's another command called touch, and it's you say touch.fido.html, and all that will do is it will just create a blank empty file. So that's another command that you might find useful. And I'm going to type ls, and there's Fido. And to prove it to you, let's look in here. There's Fido in there. So I can just edit that file. This is Fido. And we'll just say, I love Fido. Oops, oopsie, Fido. Okay. So I'm going to run that. And remember, it was in the dogs directory, so it's /dogs/Fido. Oops, Fido. .html. Oh, it gave me this won't work because this is a capital. So I'm gonna delete, come on. All right. That should have been lowercase Fido. Okay, so let's go there. Okay, there. I love Fido is right in there. So if I can find where's, let me close this one. Let me close the script, or the CSS. What else can I close? We have Fluffy, we have Rover, we have Fido. Yeah, that was Fido. Okay, so that is sort of how you can manage or you can practice using the the shell. Now this is kind of just taking baby steps into the shell, just practicing how to use it. Obviously, if you wanted to, it's probably a lot faster to just do it this way. If I wanted to make a new cat, I can just make a new cat. Um, like Bozo or something. Okay, so it's probably faster just to do it this way. You can make as many files as you want. But one nice thing about the shell, um, well, you have to learn how to use the shell, basically, if you want to be a developer. So this is a nice way to just kind of get practice with it. You can just learn these few commands to navigate around the shell, just to get used to it. So cd cats, you can move in here. cd cats, what's inside cats? We have our cats. We got 3 cats. We got a kittens folder. Move inside here and we want kittens. I'm going to hit tab to auto expand. And look at that. We got Fluffy the kitten. Oh, this looks like I spelled Fluffy wrong. I'll show you one more. I can change the name of a file by moving it. So I can just move mv flutty. It's going to be called, come on, flutty. Change that. I don't know why. Oh, it's futty. Okay, futty dot html. I want to change him to fluffy. luffy dot html, and just hit enter. And now he's called Fluffy, and you can kind of go see over here. Now he's called the right name. So there's a whole bunch of commands. Just try to learn a few at a time. I'm going to come out of here, cd dot dot, cd dot dot, ls to see what's going on here. Cd dogs, go cd into dogs. If you forget where you are, you can look to the left and you can see the command prompt. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. But you can also do pwd, which is print working directory, and that'll just show you where you are. We're in demo dogs, and there's even some folders that are even above that. So home and runner are above or outside of demo, and that is what contains dogs. So demo contains dogs, runner contains demo, and home contains runner. Be careful, a few little things you might want to be careful of. CD by itself will take you somewhere else. It'll take you to your home directory. So in my home directory, there's nothing except that demo. So I can CD into the demo. I just called it because I called my project demo. And I can see I'm back where I was. And CD slash takes you to the very, very root of your computer. And you can see there's a whole bunch of Linux-oriented stuff up here. I'm going to type cd to go to my home again, and ls to see where I am, or see what I have, and then go into demo back in here. And if you ever get lost, you can always just close the terminal and reopen it. Okay, so I hope that helps you to get a little sense of what you can do with the terminal in Replit. Get some practice getting familiar with the terminal, because there's some commands that we will only be able to execute in the terminal. So you got to get used to using it. Thank you for listening, and be sure to rewind and try to follow along the second time through.